What's the worst thing your parents made you believe? When I was 12 years old, my mother slit her wrists in front of me because I asked to go to a friend's birthday party. And as she bled into our kitchen sink, she made me promise I'd never try to leave her again. She survived that time, barely. While the paramedics worked on her, she gripped my hand with bloody fingers and whispered, "This is what happens when you abandon me." I spent 3 days in the hospital chapel, 13 years old, and convinced I'd almost murdered my mother by wanting to go to a sleepover. When she came home, arm bandaged and eyes hollow, she made me sleep in her bed so she could hold on to me all night. "I need to know you're here," she said. "Otherwise, the darkness comes back." The rules formed quickly after that. I couldn't join clubs because staying late at school feels like you're choosing them over me. I couldn't have friends over because their energy disrupts our bond. Each boundary came with the same threat, sometimes spoken, sometimes just a gesture toward her scarred wrists. She kept razors displayed on the bathroom counter like weapons, reminding me what would happen if I broke her heart again. By 14, I was homeschooled and completely isolated. Mom said it was better this way, just us two against a world that didn't understand our connection. She'd have good days where she'd braid my hair and we'd watch movies, and I'd think maybe this was enough. But then I'd mention wanting to learn to drive someday, and she'd go silent. She'd lock herself in the bathroom, and I'd sit outside the door, begging her to come out. She'd emerge hours later, showing me fresh cuts on her thighs. Practice cuts, she'd call them, for when you finally abandoned me for real. I attempted my first real escape at 15. I'd found a youth shelter address at the library and memorized it. One night while Mom slept, I packed a bag and made it to the front door, but she was sitting in the dark living room, waiting. "I felt you pulling away," she said calmly. Then she swallowed an entire bottle of sleeping pills in front of me. I called 911 and rode with her to the hospital, holding her hand while they pumped her stomach. When she woke up, she smiled sadly. "You did this," she said, "but at least you stayed to watch." After that, she installed bells on my bedroom door and windows. She'd test me randomly, pretending to hurt herself to see if I'd try to leave or just save her. I always chose to save her, but I was dying inside, suffocating under the weight of keeping her alive. I started writing goodbye letters I'd never send, hiding them in my textbooks. I tried to get away again when I was 16. Mom had fallen asleep after taking anxiety medication, and I thought I had time. I made it 3 blocks before a police car pulled up. Mom had called them, claiming I was mentally unstable. She'd shown them my hidden letters as evidence. As they drove me home, she texted me, "If you'd kept going, you would have found my body when you came back. I had the bath ready." That night, she showed me a new scar on her stomach. "I did this while you were gone," she said. She made me help her bandage it, narrating how she would have cut deeper if I'd made it another block. "Next time you leave," she promised, "I'll make sure I time it perfectly. You'll be free, but you'll be a murderer." I became hypervigilant, watching for signs she was spiraling. My entire existence became keeping her from the edge. When I caught her standing on our apartment balcony at 3 a.m., I didn't ask why. I just took her hand and led her back to bed. But then I got a scholarship to art school. Mom found the acceptance letter before I could hide it. She didn't say anything, just disappeared into the bathroom. I heard water running and pounded on the door. When she finally opened it, the tub was full and she was fully dressed. "I was practicing," she said, "for when you leave me." For weeks, she prepared me for her death like other parents prepare kids for college. She showed me her will, her funeral preferences, the note she'd leave absolving me of legal responsibility, but not moral guilt. She bought a white dress to die in and hung it in the closet where I'd see it every day. The scholarship deadline approached. Mom stopped eating, stopped sleeping, stopped everything except watching me. She'd follow me from room to room, asking if this was the last time she'd see me make breakfast. She counted down days on the calendar with red X's. The night before the deadline, I found her in the dark kitchen with pills lined up like soldiers. "You're going to choose them over me," she said. I sat across from her, my acceptance letter between us. I told her I was declining the scholarship. Relief flooded her face. Then I told her the truth. I'd already accepted it. I was leaving in 1 week. This was goodbye. She didn't scream. She just started taking the pills one by one, maintaining eye contact. I called 911 immediately, but she kept swallowing. By the time paramedics arrived, she'd taken enough to kill herself twice over. As they worked on her, she told them I'd forced her to do it. She'd recorded our conversation, edited perfectly to sound like I was goading her. The police arrested me while doctors tried to save her life. I sat in a holding cell, 18 years old, charged with coercion and attempted murder. Knowing whether she lived or died, she'd finally found the perfect way to keep me from leaving. Full story on the channel below.